All right, cool. So the first poem that I wanted to try out here is called When People Try to Stop Trying to... You guys hear that? What the hell's going on? You know, sometimes I live here in Nachlaot, and there's just like endless noise, and it's like I can't even handle it sometimes myself. It's like it starts with all these people hanging out in the streets, and then out of nowhere, it's like it just starts with like electronic music, and you're like, oh, we live in Israel. We can just like blast electronic music like it's everybody's business, you know? It's like you're pumping the hump it up bump, you know? And it's like, whoa, you know? Because it's like endless noise. And I can't handle all the noise because who needs noise like this? It's like, imagine you're like boarding a plane trying to go somewhere in the middle of a pandemic, and then suddenly everything just goes wrong. You can't go anywhere. It's a pandemic, and all you have is just like endless noise, and nobody can even think straight. But at the same time, you know, like you're talking about the noise that you just don't want. But we all know that people, they kind of like noise too, right? Like I can't say that I've never wanted to surround myself with noise, because sometimes people talk about how they want silence, right? You're looking for your inner peace, and you want like to, you know, Zen, whatever it's called. But we all know if anyone had real access to like what people call like inner peace and spiritual this or that, what they would really find is that like they want the noise back. They want the noise because the noise is really what helps us hide from the silence. And the silence is what nobody can handle because it's just too much. It's really just way, way too much. And I don't know. You know, like I've been trying to call my landlord about this. And I swear the whole complex here has been Airbnb apartments just taking over. And it's just too much for me at this point.
הקטע הזה אורנג' פילו מתוך האלבום השני והאחרון שהם הוציאו ב-1900.
So that didn't work, but we can maybe skip to the second poem. So this is
loved it.
Yeah. So this is a bit of a challenge, but I wanted to try and share it. And it's called Talking About the Talking That Talks So Long That the Beginning of the Thought is Forgotten. History sometimes only seems like history. That is, history becomes history when history is relayed passionately. Then it is history. When the boring recitations of past figures and facts overtakes the talk of history, then history only seems like history because the boring recitation of past figures and facts proves how much words can smother themselves. Boring recitations prove how any stringing together of words claims itself as value. Stringing together any words claims that there is value in whatever words people sometimes point to. And so history, that is real history, must be known. Not known so as not to repeat history. History must be known in order to repeat history. History must be known as a repeating of history, to repeat certain kinds of history, to repeat the history of passionately relaying history. History as if history could be anything but history. Just as trying to teach children history is no different than bringing a camera to a party. Yes, history becomes a camera inviting people to start posing. And before anybody realizes why they are posing, they discover that more important than having fun is looking like you have had fun. That more important than having fun is making other people think that you've had fun, which means that fun then becomes not only the impression of having fun, fun becomes such an intense impression of having fun that it causes other people to talk about the fun that was supposed to have been had. That is, people start to talk about the fun that was had even if there was no fun. Funny, fun, fun, fun. Fun becomes the myth of fun. Fun becomes the witness accounts of fun. Fun becomes the telling that is a telling about fun. because we all agree that children should be taught history, but none of us wants to face the facts of history. Nobody wants to see the history of teaching history. Just as partygoers in their teens and 20s don't want to hear certain facts, their bodies will break down, jobs really do sink in, and the parties that were the craziest parties, cameras or no cameras, will become a layer of pain uncontrollably emerging as unwanted memories, no different than the memories of a plague. And history teaches that history does anything but teach, because the camera becomes a vehicle to inscribe the soon-to-be wishing for what should be forgotten. And none of us can be taught the irreversibility of wishing to forget. Just as only now, only now, through this constellation that I scribble, do I see myself. See myself as commenting on myself, wanting to be remembered, wanting to be forgotten, never able to clearly see the two simultaneously, but not in the simultaneous sense of joy's dependence on future states of non-joy, but more in the sense of talking so long that you yourself forget the beginning of the sentence, which shows that there never were sentences until there were names. So let us give this extended meditation a name. Let us say then that we're talking about the kind of talking that talks so long that the beginning of the thought is forgotten. Yes, the talking that talks so long that the beginning of the thought is forgotten. What a beautiful excuse to talk so long that people might begin to enjoy how you talk more than what you say, which is all to say that even though people claim that thoughts come first, we sometimes talk without any thought, which makes me wonder. I wonder and I speak to see who might remember the whole thought, because we learn history while participating in making history. And I know that anyone who knows me wishes for the old man to come. Yes, the old man. Where is he? Where is the old man? You wonder, why does he let this annoying talking talk on? So let me fulfill your desire, because that's what we are all here for, your desire. Whether it is to learn something, to be more cultured, to be entertained, and thus the old man arrives, holding a camera and taking pictures, clicking away as he looks out at us and speaks. The old man speaks, saying, "Don't pose for me. Don't pose for the sake of being remembered. Don't pose because you're already always posing. So pose. Don't pose. Pose." So thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Lonnie, we really did have this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Time,
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Amazing.
Happy New Year.
Fulfilled our desires. Thank you. Thank you, Lonnie.